just to rest. Okay, so now it's resting on that holder that we just made. And this is a little high. Let's get this. Oh, there we go. This one. Sorry about that. Okay, so what is this holder going to be made of? That's the next question. And also, this thing might be rotated. But... Okay, let's... I want this knife to be more edge on. Not edge on, sorry, edge... Yeah, this way. This bit's a little tricky. Naughty cherry. Naughty cherry, huh? I assume that is cherry with lots of knots in it. Okay, so now we need to get some, what do you even call it? Textures. Okay. Oh, caps lock. I always find myself accidentally hitting caps lock in Blender. gtextures.com. Alright, so let's see what happens if we type in cherry. Let's try... Well, first let's take a look at what cherry wood looks like. Cherry wood. Okay. So, what I'm getting here is that basically we're going to have a fairly red and yellow texture to it. And do we want this to be stained or unstained? That's another question. I kind of like that, but I don't like the little crevices that are in there. Ooh. I like this. A nice fine grain. Yeah. I think I like this one better. So, I'll have to log in. No, am I already logged in? Oh, let's see. Hooray! I'm logged in. So I guess I have to do that again. Forgot I wasn't logged in. Oops. Stained with the blood of a warrior? I don't even know what that would look like. But here this is again. Alright, so we're gonna get this. We're gonna show in folder. Okay. Now I'm gonna create a new folder. in my pictures section. So new folder, we're going to call this wood. We're just going to drop it in there. Alright. Now, shader map's coming up. Oh, come on. Windows 10 search function is not very good, I have to say. Get out of here, OBS, get out of here. Alright. Shader map, there we go. Shader map. So shader map is a program that I believe is free, and it is great because it allows you to toss in this case, a color texture, and it will automatically generate a whole series of images. So we got a displacement. This is a, what am I saying here? This I'm probably not going to use, but we've got a specularity mask. We've got a normal map. So yeah, all of that is great. So we don't want TGA. I want to use PNG 16-bit without alpha. For this, I want to use, let's see, file format, PNG 8-bit RGB. And for this, even though it's just black and white, the fine gradations in color are actually pretty important. So I'm going to do 16-bit RGB. And right there, I've already created the textures that I need to make this into wood.
I'm running to the bathroom. We're going for a walk, but
okay. Sorry. Alright, so we're going to call this wood. Klingon blood. So here's the thing about Klingon blood. If you watch Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, Klingon blood is obviously a deep kind of purple color. I'm sorry. But in every other depiction of Klingons, yeah, Klingons just have red blood like humans. So, like, what's the deal? But anyway, watch this. So we're going to import an image texture. And it's going to be from pictures, wood. Okay. And am I in the wrong? Oh, I'm on the wrong hard drive. Look at that. Wait, no, I'm not. So where? Oh, I put it in disk F. Look at that. There's me not paying attention. Okay, so we're going to grab that. Connect it up. Alright, we're also going to change this from linear to... No, we're going to change that, sorry, from flat to box. Box, there we go. And then we're going to put in a texture coordinate, and we're going to go with generated. And we're going to do 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And so that's bigger now, but it's not quite where I want it. Let's go to... So I'm going to scale it up by paradoxically scaling it down. This in here. And we're going to do 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And so that's bigger now, but it's not quite where I want it. Let's go to 0.25. Oh, 0.25. 0.25. There. That's more what I was thinking. Okay. So get out of texture render view. And next we're going to need a normal map. So duplicate this. Get the normal map. Non-color data. And bam. We also need to bring this in from here. So there we go. That should give us some more shadows. So if we click over here, can see that the light is interacting with the wood grain in a more interesting way. Next, we'll add in some glossiness. Glossy shader. And no gloss for the wood. So there's going to be a little bit of gloss, but trust me, it's not going to be terrible. That looks terrible. And this is also going to look terrible. But there's a method to this. So the next, I'm going to duplicate this. Next up, we're going to open the... Did I forget to save a specularity? Just so the 16. I guess I forgot to save the specularity. Whatever. Alright, so this is non-color data. We're going to bring this down here. Okay, so that's cutting into the glossy. But we're also going to... Oh, I need to select the correct vector. There we go. So now you can see that the glossy is only showing up in certain areas, basically where it's fairly flat and raised, where you would think that it would be worn smooth by handling. But it's still way too glossy, obviously. So what I'm going to do is input. I'm going to add in a Fresnel. Not what I wanted to do. Keep this here. Toss the normal in here. Alright. Add a math node. Okay, here's a math node. Set it to multiply. And then, there we go. So now, it's only going to be glossy on where this is allowing it to be glossy, and also where surfaces are facing away from you. Okay? So, wood also has a certain smallish degree of subsurface scattering. So let's add that in. But first we're going to save because, like I said, Blender likes to kill itself. I'm also going to set some colors here. This can be just a nice dark color. There we go. Alright. I'm glad that you like it, and that you trust me. This is not my first rodeo, as they say. I have done this a few times. Not exactly this, it wasn't a J Dagger, but, you know what I mean. Okay, so, I'll just duplicate this here. Now, you need a, where'd it go? Subsurface scattering. So I'm going to show you what the subsurface scattering does by itself real quick, just in this preview. So if I go to surface, right? And so you can see that it has these soft edges. So what it's allowing the light to do is basically bleed through. Right? So if I cube here, you can see that the light hits here, say, and then it bleeds through to the whole edge. So this whole edge is brighter. And it also softens the shadows over here. That's because in most organic substances, and in a lot of other substances as well, light doesn't just bounce off the surface. Some of the light penetrates through and bounces around on the inside and then bounces out. That's what's happening if, say, you hold your fingers up to the sun, and you can see that red shining through your fingers. That's subsurface scattering going on. So we're going to add a little bit of subsurface scattering. I'm going to grab the normal. After we hit this up, we're going to grab the image texture here. And we're going to turn this to, say, there we go. So without this, it'll look like, get rid of the monkey. So here you see the edges are a little softened. And without this, it would just look like this, and the edges are a little bit harder, to, more defined. Whereas with this, there's just a little bit of softening, and I actually want to turn it up just a little bit.